Though we are many, we are part of something. A force bigger than all of us. Our distinct fingerprints collectively shaping and forever changing what makes UCONN, UCONN. Forever making our mark. Forever making UCONN a part of us.
At Quinnipiac, we see more than a campus. We see a community built to ignite passions. We see more than a degree. We see the careers of tomorrow. We see more than a student. We see someone destined to make an impact.
Welcome back, everybody, to EGFC. My name is Keelan Miles, joined once again by the illustrious Soy. And we are getting right back into some more collegiate Super Smash Bros. Action with the University of Connecticut taking on Quinnipiac. And, well, Soy, can you break down this matchup for us? Because it's not looking pretty out the gate.
Yeah, kind of a tale of two splits right now. It's Quinnipiac. They are 4-0 on the season, and their run through the MAC conference has looked really good. And now they're playing a couple out-of-conference games. They've got a big, kind of a Big East division run coming up in their schedule, starting here with UConn. And UConn, well, they've been on the wrong side of the coin flip more often than not. 0-4, 2 forfeit losses, and then they had their game last week against Mississippi State, which did not go in their favor. So looking to try and turn things around here, but it's going to be a rough start for them.
And yeah, it is going to be a little tough for them, as my apologies, folks. I'll be right back. But either way, yeah, University of Connecticut, we did see them last week, and shockingly enough, Samsung 2001 got a win over one of the Mississippi State players. That's huge right there. They're the reigning champs.
Yeah, Samsung really did step up in that bracket, and it was surprising too, because we know how strong that Mississippi State roster is. But Samsung is kind of the player to watch on this roster. The other players to watch, if you're looking for where UConn's depth comes from, look for players like Sakaluigi and Cozy Wrath, who also have set victories in their matchup against Marquette way back in week 3. They're going to be players of emphasis. But as we get ready for game number 1 here, looks like it's going to be Spork versus Mr. Purple.
Yeah, as starting out with the Sora. That's going to be a common thread for the next few weeks, folks. Come on, it's a new character. You can't expect these kids to play around nice. And I don't think Soul Cake is going to play around nice either. I mean, you got a big old target in front of you. Are you kidding me? Looking like they're going to threaten to use the tail to gimp them, and instead Mr. Purple sends it all the way back around and just snipe them with the up B. Okay.
Yeah, that's quite the opening start for Mr. Purple. And Mr. Purple, too, on this nest, he's been very proficient. Was one of the big names for this roster last year, so Spork really has his work cut out for him, and it can never feel good losing your stock to that up B.
Yeah, as now, Mr. Purple just looking to play the lead. I mean, obviously you want to get as much done as you can, but ooh, that's one thing I had not considered. The PSI Magnet making it really hard for Sora to get a lot of his zoning online, because you're just feeding the beast right there.
Yeah, absolutely is going to play a factor. Wanted to rocket again, but he couldn't quite cut that angle, so Sport's going to survive for now, but he's living on borrowed time right now, 135.
Yeah, as kind of a rough one right there, as they're able to survive for the time being, get the PK Fire, but not a ton of damage quite yet until they get another PK Fire into the forward air. And Soy, my
Yes.
friend Soy, you just got dunked. Like, Quinnipiac Well, I'd say they didn't come to play games, but that definitely felt like a game. It almost felt... I mean, it's not inoptimal, but when you find a pattern and you exploit it 3 times in a row without any change, you're in their head. You're far in their head.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Purple too is a player who does not mess around. He is perfect on the season so far. In his actually 3-1, but so near perfect, I should say. But Quinnipiac's record, remains perfect so far. And to start off with a 3 stock, that's pretty darn good. And Mr. Purple too is one of these players that has been just money for this team in terms of points. And this is why he finds these 1 or 2 openings, and he's not afraid to go for the big play. You would think that a move like PK Rocket is reactable, or it's like every time you get hit by it, it's like, oh, that wouldn't happen to me. And in this case, burned him twice on it.
It's like a magician. Like it's all sleight of hand. It's all misdirection. You throw the electricity up, and I don't know, maybe they air dodge through it. Maybe they try and jump over it, and they think they're safe, because you haven't unveiled what you've got up your sleeve yet. Or what you've got shooting out your head, because, oh my gosh. Like, I'm still in awe that they managed to do that. Echoes of Austin right there, as they're able to get an early lead for Quinnipiac. That is to say for certain. Hey. Maybe they're shooting to outdo University of South Alabama's almost shutout.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say, for the side of UConn, Spork, before Sora came out, did play King DDD, and I'm not sure if a character swap is not off the table for this matchup, but the way that was going, maybe having the heavier body to survive some of these hitboxes might be something worth considering.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't think it would be a bad idea. The Sora did seem a little bit more well-practiced than some we've seen today, getting some nice early percent combos into the up tilt, but no more than like 35%. Nothing more than you couldn't get picking up any top tier an hour before the game starts. So, I mean, play the Sora if you want. He's brand new. And when you're all shiny like that, you gotta try it out. But also, if you want to win, like playing someone on a new character while they're playing their main, you are either banking on matchup inexperience, or you are saying, I'm a better player than you. I'm going to beat you not because I have experience in my character, because I am a better player at Smash Bros. Than you.
Yeah, and that's the balance that these players kind of go through when a new character comes out. You also want to learn the matchup, but you also have to risk, how much better am I of a player? Can I still get those huge stock victories? And Mr. Purple opting to stay nest. Meanwhile, Spork character switch here to Marth, and I like this a lot more. This is a matchup that I think Mr. Purple could really find himself in a world of hurt in.
Ooh. Yeah, Marth. He's a funny little guy in this game. He does do well against Nest because, well, you can get some good gimps, and you can get some... And this is all in theory, of course, because in the moment, the gimps aren't going to come to reality if you can't win the neutral at all. The grab out of the PK Fire right there. Yeah, there's the mix-up right there. Are you going to be knocked up, sent straight into the up air? Or are you going to be allowed to come back to stage, and then you get punished? That's the kind of thing you got to be wary about. And that up B in center stage, well, Mr. Purple's there to punish.
Wanted the dash back forward smash, but didn't get quite enough of a dash back to land that forward smash. So Mr. Purple just doing a really good job of landing all these moves and catching just the littlest of overextensions by Spork, and now Spork almost at kill percent.
PK Fire again. He's a very good edge guarding killer. Spork The up air beat out by the charged up smash. Yo-yo against the sword, but the string wins in the end.
That was something else by Mr. Purple. You saw the up air come out and you think, okay, he's going to make it back safely, but like you said, that down smash beating it was just something else. And now Spork's got his back against the wall here, trying to avoid a perfect set here. Can he get anything on the board? Good rollback, but that forward smash is greedy.
But you saw the fear in their eyes. They did not want to go into that. They went for it. Oh, good double jump right there from Spork. But as they're trying to get away from the up B, they caught by the nair. I think they're DIing out, and that is going to be it. You get the double 3 stock. You get the 8 points. You do not get hit by the up B a third time. You can take condolence in that, Spork. We're with you on that one. You did not get dunked a third time in a row.
Mr. Purple was all over that matchup.
Yeah, like that. We've gotta be honest. Like, we try and be fair to everyone. We try and highlight what they're doing good. And to be fair, some definite good stuff at earlier percents. But once it came to getting the kill, Marth struggles. I mean, Marthritis has been a thing in every Smash game, but it's especially exasperated in Ultimate, where microspacing options just aren't a thing as much. It's hard to consistently get tippers. And when you're playing with a character who likes to mash right into your face or keep you at range and projectile where your sword doesn't matter, well, where are you going to find the time to get to that tipper spacing, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's, a huge statement to Mr. Purple, kind of knowing the disadvantage of the matchup and being able to play around it. And again, it just felt like, time and time again, Spork could not find the openings he needed. And it was just punished appropriately. So many times it was kind of just swinging on shield, and then things like the nair out of shield from Mr. Purple time and time again just chipped away, ate away at the percent, and Spork couldn't hold on to his stock long enough to get anything done.
Yeah, not at all. As Quinnipiac University taking a very, very dominant lead. I mean, as we said, University of Connecticut has had a very rocky start to this season. They had to play... What is Quinnipiac? I mean, they're undefeated for sure, but they're number 4, I think, right now. Yeah, they're number 5. So, yeah, that... Man, poor University of Colorado. They have had to play 4 and 5 the past couple weeks, and I mean, it's good to play good players. I mean, listen, the only reason I'm good at the game at all is because I spent an entire year, more than that, just playing a really good player who lived near me and losing and losing and losing. And then I got 4th at my first local. So listen, sometimes having a really rough early start can benefit you in the long run immensely. However, you've got to make sure you're learning from that. University of Connecticut, I really hope they're taking notes, because they can really apply them even from that first match. They're like, all right. Maybe jumping in a little more than they should have. Maybe falling for the tricks at ledge, but they were adapting to the tricks at ledge. Okay, let's see. Where can we go from here? What can our future players in this matchup do? So I'm looking to see that improvement going in from the University of Connecticut, because while I expect Quinnipiac to be better, I think the pressure is not exactly there for them to adapt as hard.
Yeah, no, Quinnipiac's got some expectations on them based on how they played last year, but it feels like the players are still there. You got the strong players like Mr. Purple, who were, right in the middle of the pack last year, but have really found themselves kind of emerging as the head honchos of this Bobcats roster. You got players like Baco, who were clutch last year. Soulcake, who has been, he was streaky last year, but this year feels a lot more consistent. This Quinnipiac roster is certainly dangerous, and it feels like they've got a good handle on a lot of different matchups. And part of that is that I feel like something that this roster in particular does very well is they adapt to whatever pace your opponent plays at. They don't necessarily set the pace of the matchup, but they adjust very well. And that we talk about it time and time again, that in-game adjustment, the ability to turn around and change your game plan on a dime, that's so vital in these sets.
Yeah, 100%. As it looks like Billy Shilly is coming up next against CISO. Now, Billy Shilly, I do know. Billy Shilly, they were a Pokemon trainer, so, they got all sorts of stuff. And I don't think we saw CISO last year, so I'm interested to see how that plays out. The one thing I did notice, they're on FD because what happened is they literally went, hey, you want a gentleman to PS2? No, I banned PS2. Wait, they're not on FD? Oh, I see. I'm actually very confused. This might be a bit of a button check. No, we're getting right back into it in Battlefield as Billy Shilly takes on Sisu, the Captain Falcon.
Yeah, Sisu's first stream appearance here, and he's got a tough task ahead of him. Billy Shilly, time and time again last year, was the anchor of this Quinnipiac roster. Had to play a lot against a lot of tough opponents. So Siso, good job evening up the percents there after a little bit of an early deficit.
Looking to get a spike if they could right there, but fortunately not able to. Razor Leaf not going to connect either. Drop down with the Nair. That Nair is decimating Captain Falcon's recovery. Drop down, jump Nair. If Captain Falcon doesn't have a jump left, can be game over for Captain Falcon. Up smash out of shield, though. A little bit optimistic. It's fast, sure, but it is punishable.
Good job by Siso avoiding that neutral B, and there's that Falcon kick to get out of the disadvantage. That's something we see a lot of Captain Falcons do. And that up B, that felt like some Commando Pro from Call of Duty grabbed him from far, far away, but not going to be able to take the kill quite yet.
Oh, up smash out of shield. That time we'll take it, but Billy Shilly, definite kill percent. One mistake away from losing this stock, but they do get the parry into the grab. They've got Captain Falcon off stage with the flame breath. Get the rack of even more percent. They went for that very aggressive knee. If they had spaced that right, oh boy, would have been nice. But instead, see, gonna be it. Ooh, I love that movement option right there. And then air dodging the ledge. That was an amazing recovery right there. I will give him credit for that. That was some inspiration.
Very good stuff, and surviving to 178% too. Flare Blitz once again, and now Siso's got to be careful. He does manage to get the grab into the back throw, so stock number 1 off the board of Billy Shilly, but so much work has been done by that Charizard.
Yeah, 91%. That Charizard had no right to live that long, and I feel like Siso knows it, but they can't let it get to them. They can definitely bring this back. They've got the skill to do it. Got Ivysaur off stage, but they don't overcommit. That's crucial.
I like the mix-up by Billy Shilly to bait the tether down and cancel it to get back to stage, and curious to see what this Ivysaur can do here. But a lot of pressure, and the down air. Fantastic spacing around that recovery.
That's what the Ivysaur can do, Soy. Break you from on stage, through stage, wherever you want to be. Ooh, now they're stringing together the combos, and these disjoints are making it so hard for Falcon to land.
Good follow-up by that Razor Leaf. We haven't seen Billy Shilly use a lot of Razor Leaf, but now at these kind of mid-percents, it's doing so much work.
Caught by the side B, but they get the parry. Siso doesn't up B, but yeah. I mean, that up B is essentially just whiteout. It deletes you right off the screen. But even for that, that was unfortunate. I mean, Siso had something going. They really did. And then the Charizard kept living. And it kept living. And then it kept living some more. And then it kept living some more. And honestly, some of the stuff that was happening was just unbelievable. And I feel like it's like the clutch box mentality right there, where you put yourself in these really unwinnable situations and you do some crazy option, and your opponent is so focused on killing you, so focused on doing the correct thing, the right thing, that they are not in any position to deal with you flare blitzing across the stage, air dodging onto ledge, jumping off of ledge and flare blitzing into you, and then going into up smash you at 30%. Like, these are things that don't work. They shouldn't work. But even though they don't work and shouldn't work, they still got them 91%.
Yeah, no, and on top of that too, if you're Billy Shilly, I think the thought process is kind of why not take the risk, right? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to lose your stock. You're at 200% anyway against Captain Falcon. It feels like that stock is just kind of running on borrowed time anyway. So fantastic recognition too by Billy Shilly. And like you said, that survivability really came in clutch. And the mastery too of Charizard and Ivysaur, I think, were really pertinent. Squirtle didn't really do a whole lot that game, but he didn't need to because Ivysaur just put in so much work with those disjoints like he commented on. And then Charizard, the fact that he was able to survive for so long, it just makes this matchup look so much more difficult for CISO.
Trying to get the down throw Nair, but the Pokemon Switch actually gets them out of the combo, and they're more comfortable on Ivysaur anyway. Kalos is an interesting one for me. I mean, you're not going to die off the top like we saw at the end there. And, I mean, Falcon likes his ladders, though. I guess maybe you can ladder people using the Kalos side platforms, and you want to ladder them towards the side of the screen anyway, like we're seeing right here, right now. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I stand corrected. The ladders do benefit Captain Falcon right here, as this side platform is like, crucial. Get out of the up B, though. Doesn't get the opportunity to continue punishing.
Oh my, that Nair, the second hitbox actually killing. So Billy Shilly, that survivability that we talked about in game number 1, not here in game number 2. Great job by CISO to know the spacing of that move and land a strong hit. And look at him go here on the second stock.
Okay, CISO able to get off the ledge, and evening up the percent right there, but going for the stomp right there is going to be punished hard with the up air. Again, disjoints on Ivysaur are the one thing that Captain Falcon is struggling with more than anything else. Maybe going to try and wall jump towards the bottom of the stage, either way. That option taken away from you. So, down to Billy Shilly's level, down on their stock, but the side B gives an opportunity. Not overextending though, that's crucial.
Very crucial. Could be an opening, but CISO gets out of it. That up B out of shield, so useful. And catching the recovery, too. That Nair doing so much work for CISO.
I'm shocked right now, silly. I mean, Captain Falcon definitely has the speed to get out there and contest that, but now you're on Squirtle, and there's the switch. Did you see that? They were waiting for the switch. They dropped down, and they're like, I'm not going to continue this combo anyway. I don't have a jump. Boom, switch.
That was so smart by CISO to wait that out, knowing that, you know, Ivysaur is a lot more comfortable for Billy Shilly. That was the single hit in there. I could have sworn I saw a knee coming, but he opted for up smash instead. And now Billy Shilly very much in the danger zone.
Get up. Immediate down air, not going to find anything. Well, they're going all the way out, but this time they shield that Flare Blitz. Not looking to be caught out by that again. The Charizard was clutch before. Can it do it again?
Ooh, that up air almost killing off the top. I actually like the wait by Billy Shilly, despite it being very dangerous, but that up B grabbing from so far away, still not going to be able to find the kill quite yet.
I'm sure every ounce in their body right there wanted to just throw out a Randy Flare Blitz, wanted to just execution tech. Billy Shilly is respectable to do that, to do such a thing. But even all the respect in the world, is he going to save you from that back air spaced perfectly? As CISO does get one on the board. No shutout for Quinnipiac University. Man.
Yeah. No, solid play there from CISO. And again, I think the difference was he started to really catch on to a lot of the habits of Billy Shilly. And it didn't seem like that was going to be the case, but you know, catching the recoveries off stage were massive in that set. Between the Nair catching the tether recovery and just following Charizard down there, it feels like he's really getting the idea of how Billy Shilly wants to play when he's in disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, they were just completely shutting down Billy Shilly by keeping them in the corner. One of two corners. And that just set up perfectly because they wanted to play around that one platform. And I would think that if Billy Shilly was able to find a way to get to center stage, then they would make CISO very uncomfortable. But CISO, they just had their back to center stage the entire time. They're like, I don't even care about it, but I know you care about it. And if you keep trying to get back there, I'm going to punish you.
No, absolutely. I agree. You never really saw Ivysaur, Squirtle, not Charizard even really gain control of center stage. And on top of that too, just every time, like you saw, every time he did, he was punished for it. So I'm curious to see where we go here for game number 3. If he wants to continue to play around, minimal platforms, or if he wants to, give himself a chance. Okay, Smashville makes a lot of sense. You still have that one singular platform to play around, but now it's on the center of stage, so this should be very interesting.
This is Billy Shilly's counter pick, and small stages against Falcon have always been good because you can really choke him out. I mean, Falcon, he loves to rush you down literally from across the stage. He's a freight train. But think about it. If you don't give a train a lot of room to move, it's going to fly off the tracks. As it's really what Billy Shilly is counting on. Like, CISO's not able to build up any momentum. There's no place to do it on this tiny little stage, whereas Squirtle is a lot better for the short-range burst.
Dangerous knee, good air dodge by Billy Shilly, but look at the follows for CISO. Even though he's at such a high percent, it feels like CISO is making really good use of the openings he gets.
As the switch to Ivysaur saves their life, but now you gotta get off the ledge. Able to do it, but dash right into the Falcon kick. Billy Shilly, no. Got caught in the lag a little bit too much there, but going right back into it, yeah. They're able to even that up with the pressure from Charizard's presence alone.
Yeah, very well done there. Unfortunate stock loss for Billy Shilly. I think he was planning on grabbing the ledge, but the parry put him in lag. But oh no tech! That's gonna be the stock. CISO with a huge stock lead now.
Yeah, and Billy Shilly's gotta feeling the pressure now on your counter pick. This gotta hurt. Goes to the stomp, but no opportunity to land it. Leaning heavily on these Razor Leafs, but just short hopping right over them and getting punishes a lot of the time.
Good tether cancel again, but CISO ready for every time. Oh boy! What a combo! The stomp to knee, the Falcon Classic, taking away game number 3.
Vindication. Vindication, Soy. Stomp knee. It finally happened. Do you know, I think that's the first stomp knee I've gotten the pleasure of seeing in EGF. Something always interferes. Either they're playing a character that's too light for it to work on, or something like that. I don't know. But CISO, they had the opportunity. And Billy Shilly was playing well, but CISO, the moment they got an inch of space, they made it a mile. And there really wasn't a lot Billy Shilly could do once that lead was extended and continued to be pushed by CISO.
Yeah, and that's a huge credit to CISO too, because Captain Falcon is one of those characters that thrives off of getting those combos, right? You get your one opening, you get your damage, and you get out. And Captain Falcon, he has plenty of kill moves, especially at later percents, but you got to get him there. And so for CISO to, find those openings so many times. We were talking about how Billy Shilly, his survivability was so good in game number 1, but in game number 2 and game number 3, he never had a chance at those high percents. He was dying at 90, 100. He never had a shot to, fall out of combos because CISO was so clean with them.
Yeah, and now I've got to wonder. I am genuinely curious. Last week, University of Connecticut, their player who got a win over one of the University of Mississippi State University players, reigning champs, was a Captain Falcon player named SomSom2001. I remember very clearly us asking, do you want us to say the full name? Is it just SomSom? Is CISO just SomSom rebranded? I am curious, or do they is Connecticut just home of godly Captain Falcon players? like what's the deal with that?
I don't have a good answer for you. I'm genuinely not sure. But if if it's not the same Captain Falcon, it's like you said, the Captain Falcons. There must be something in the water over there because their ability to read defensive options and just adapt and overcome is something else to behold.
Yeah, it's truly impressive how it really felt like there was no escape. They were just tracking you down, and then once they got that stomp, explosion. That's all you really need. As we're going to have Sakaluigi against Bako up next. Now, Sakaluigi we did see last week. What'd you think of them, Soy?
Yeah, Sakaluigi has been kind of, I don't want to say streaky, but they're 1-1 on the season. They had a very good showing against Marquette back in week 3, but then against the defending champs, they tended to struggle a little bit on this Sephiroth. So it's like we've said, Sephiroth, we've seen a lot of them have some success, but we've also seen a lot of them, struggle at times. And I think Sakaluigi, the big key here is he can't allow players to survive to those high percents again. It's important as always to take these stocks, especially because of the format. But one thing that you can't allow is for that comeback mechanic of your opponent to come back in. And I think that's bitten Sakaluigi in the past.
Real quick, I'm fairly certain Bako, aren't they the player who was named MVP last year?
Yes, they were during that MAC playoff run. Bako was one of the huge components of this roster. Numerous games came down to last stock, and I believe he won almost all of them. He was a huge part of this roster, and so to see him here, that's a big sign for Quinnipiac, showing a lot of respect for Sakaluigi.
Trying to land with that fair, but the air slash out of shield will give them a little bit more room. Landing up air, not quite spacing correctly around that. But Shulk, one of the only characters in the entire game that can contest with Sephiroth's range.
And something you'll notice about Bako's Shulk in particular is he's able to take that first stock. That's an unfortunate way to go if you're Sakaluigi just trying to run away, and backslash just catches him, so you get the stronger hitbox instead. But Bako's Shulk is not afraid to really burn through all of the arts, and his stage control is really something else. The spacing of those forward airs is always very dangerous.
And the backslash coming down right there. That's how they got the kill previously. 145%, and Shulk can keep on living longer if you get the correct arts online. But they're going for all or nothing, and they get nothing as they end up excuse me, in the smash art, getting caught by the counter.
A little bit of a greedy side beat, but the speed on deck, he will fall to that up air. Good falling up air there from Sakaluigi. And that forward smash nearly taking the stock right back. Bako putting a lot of pressure on here in the corner.
Smash art forward air, that's going to take it 2 stocks to 1 right now. Clean lead for Bako. Try and land on top of Sephiroth. Pretty good read on how Sakaluigi likes to get those anti-airs in, so they feel a little more comfortable landing on them.
That could be a lot of damage, but he will get away for now. This is a lot of damage being reversed on him. Is Bako dead? Oh no, jump art saves him.
Never underestimate a green Shulk, my friend. With the speed. Speed is so amazing for combos, not just because it lets you spam auto-cancel forward airs or just get killed, but speed also lets you follow up on hits that you never normally would be able to, but as you spin to win right in the center of the Pokeball. With the smash art back, it's going to take it. Clean 1 stock on the board. AV2, but still Sakaluigi able to keep that close, a lot closer than I would have expected given Bako's illustrious reputation.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Baco has been one of the players that's kind of struggled on this Quinnipiac roster this season. 1 and 2. He's had a lot of tough matchups though, because Baco, again, he's one of the players that typically anchors for this roster. So he's going up against some of the high caliber, Titan type players in the EGF. And at 1 and 2, going up against Sakaluigi, we knew it was going to be a tough test. I really like Sakaluigi and Baco in this match. Both of them, as the set went on, I think started to catch on to a lot of defensive options again. I mean, numerous times Baco was jumping out of disadvantage, especially when he was off stage, and Sakaluigi was able to take that second stock because of it, finding that forward air properly. But then, like you saw, Baco was able to answer right back smartly using Smash Art down smash, knowing Sakaluigi would be searching for another grounded opening.
Baco rushes right in with the speed art. They're able to just choke out Sephiroth. Not even time to get a hitbox out to stop this oncoming Schultz. Ooh. Alright. Air slash out of shield. Gonna get some nice damage going on, and the Nair and the forward air is gonna stack up even more. Smash Art Online saying, alright, I'm betting it all on this forward air, but nice thing about Schultz, he can always take back his word whenever he wants.
Good nair by Sakaluigi to get out of the corner, but again, a lot of work to be done here. Good quick combo and the up air, but shield art coming in.
It's so tricky to combo this shield art Schultz. Not only does he have the 0 hits done, not really, but he also, when a character just doesn't go where you expect them to go, it just becomes a little weird. Like trying to combo someone in World of Light. Remember playing World of Light? Immediately available, but people just won't go anywhere to hit them. Weird. As yeah, Brendan should have stayed with the forward air. Baco now getting a better read on how Sakaluigi likes to recover, but they catch him out with Smash Art again. Sakaluigi might be able to get this off.
Shield art again having to be used here as Sakaluigi putting a lot of pressure on, and Baco knows how important these stocks are, so great use of jump and all of a sudden quickly turning the situation around.
Oh, they had time to turn on the speed art while the counter was out and then jump into the counter at full speed. Oh, just because you move fast doesn't mean you think fast. But either way, in the shield art, you don't need to think too fast. You're able to put on strong, steady defense.
Whipped grabs were a missed opening, but Baco, that forward air smash art equipped on top, gonna do the trick and take stock number 2 off of Sakaluigi. So if Sakaluigi is gonna find a way back into this match, he's got to find a way to take the next 2 stocks.
Shield art comes out just in the nick of time. They'll defend you from Sephiroth onslaught. Going up the stage now. Following the recovery high, but not able to get a clean follow-up off of it. Baco has all the tools. Can't quite put them together. They're searching for it. They can sense weakness. Where can we find the opening though? Sakaluigi not making it easy for him. Trying to get this landing back here, but now the rush down comes out again. Sakaluigi has not been good at dealing with this. They're able to recover on the stage there. They're able to convert it. No. Shield art into smash art. They're grabbed out of it. Is Max going to kill? No.
And Baco not afraid to risk it all there, burning through 3 different arts. He will die to that back air, I believe. And so now trying to end this one early, goes to smash art, but now he's off stage. Good use of the second hitbox of that up B to get him back to stage.
Ooh, and with one wing right now, it's like Sakaluigi is playing with all 5 Minato arts on at once. Also dash the little Mac in there. You know how it is. And with that, they've actually evened out the defense completely. There's still all the arts online. When they saw that parry, they literally ran to the other side of the stage. They're like, I'm not dealing with that.
Sakaluigi off stage. Good reversal there on the up B. Not going to be able to find the kill. That forward air won't either. And he dipped low, couldn't find the stock. And Sakaluigi dipped too low himself, though. scared himself out of game 2 and Baco takes it.
That's unfortunate right there. When you're in the middle of a comeback and then you go for it all and you get nothing for it. I understand the mentality. You're riding the high of the momentum. You want to go as far as you can, but well, doesn't always work out that way, my friend. Has Baco, it was given a run for their money. Let's not get them wrong. But they're still able to hold on for Quinnipiac and extend their lead right now over University of Connecticut.
An 8-point game would mean that in order for UConn to tie things up, they would need a perfect game. They would need a double 3 stock like we saw from Mr. Purple in in set number 1, which is a lot to ask when you're trying to play against an undefeated Quinnipiac roster.
Yeah, and I mean Sakaluigi and Som are some of the stronger players, and again, all right. I'm gonna have to check in the interview, or not in the interview, but afterwards, what the deal with Som is, because I'm still banking on my theory that Som is CISO. It's the same letter.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. We've had a couple of players like that switch tags. I mean, most notably, Mays from Mississippi State had that tag for a long time, and then recently switched towards the back half of last season, switched to MIA. And and we've seen how good he has been.
Yeah, definitely not missing in action. And we do know who's coming in next. Quinnipiac sending in Derpa Lurpa. Now, Roy, Bowser, Young Link, Dr. Mario. Can you guess what those 4 characters have in common? Me neither, because those are so 4 wildly different characters that Derpa Lurpa all has listed. So I'm not even going to try and guess what this matchup is going to be like.
Yeah, no, it's Derpa Lurpa is one of these players that they were here last year, and again, they were one of these kind of widespread across the board. You have these multiple characters that you can pick from, so he's got his kind of counter pick of choice if he so chooses, but his results were also very scattered. Some weeks he was playing against top opponents and got shut down, and other weeks he was able to put up massive numbers. So this is one of those players, I think, for Quinnipiac that you have to find some consistency, some middle ground. That way you can, have that depth that we talk about so often, because, this Quinnipiac roster, it went through a few changes in the offseason, picked up a lot more, newer players to the scene, but Derpa Lurpa's a veteran. He's got to have that experience behind him. That's someone you should look up to on this roster.
Yeah, it is very important to note that, having a lot of experience in this league in particular is so important, because you can be good at Smash Brothers. I mean, being good at Smash Brothers is the main thing about it, but there is a difference between playing to win and playing to get points, playing the 3 stock, playing the double 3 stock. It's a very different skill set to be able to do that. And players like Baco, I have a feeling they would win in a tournament set against almost every single person here, but they're not going to get as many points as some of the highest point earners, because this is a team environment. It's not a solo Smash tournament. And that is something some players do have to get used to.
Yeah, it really makes the playing for your stock such a valuable asset. And it's something that, players like Baco and Mr. Purple on this roster in particular do very well. Not only are they able to win their sets, but they're able typically to win them in such a large fashion. Now, Baco last year and Quinnipiac in general found themselves in a lot of very close matchups, but this year it feels like that experience has kind of carried over, because ever since week 1, their win margin has been just growing larger and larger. So I'm curious to see here if that tale remains true as we get into set number 3.
Up in the show, Cozy Wrath right here. On to the Shulk. But I have to imagine Derpalerpa is well versed in this matchup. Little poke from the down tilt sends him off stage, and I do like the Roy here. Giving you the speed. Whenever speed art is not online, you have the massive advantage. Like, in terms of burst options.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you have that... The Shulk can be kind of a lighter character, especially when shield art is not online. To have that raw kill potential. That down air, kind of an awkward hitbox, but he'll take it nonetheless.
Derpalerpa is down in stock. Kozirath right now gonna get kind of blown up in terms of percentage for eating a side B while Buster Art was online. Grab that ledge. But the immediate attempt at an edge guard is going to lead to a reversal right now. How much can Kozirath get from this?
Oh, look at the spacing around that forward air.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. Because they're finally able to get the stock, but not before Kozirath got plenty of extra mileage. They tried to switch the shield right there in the middle of the hit stun, but they weren't able to quite get the input in. Ooh. Yeah, just a raw forward smash. No need for Buster at all.
Big stock for Kozirath to take it. Now he's got to play carefully. Any extra credit he gets could be massive, but Roy is a character with a lot of kill potential, like we've stated, and that was a good air dodge behind, but he can't find the opening.
Oh, and just throwing out the counter. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Because now speed comes in. I've noticed the number one way to get someone to counter is throw out a counter yourself. They see it and they're like, oh, that move exists in the game. Following up it. They went for another counter. Okay. They've been conditioned. And the side B at center stage is actually going to take it. Now, Roy, explosive character, can definitely steal stocks. But it's actually going to be harder at zero to combo Smash Art Shulk because it just goes so much farther than you would ever expect.
Ooh, that's going to be a lot of damage, though, from that up B. Kozirath's got to play careful here. 40% and speed art. Good upbeat to knock Roy off stage, but surviving right now is Derpalerpa. The Nair turns him around.
Right, just like this is an even game. Forward smash at ledge, you're dead. Jab up there. Now get the follow-up. Shield art is online, and you're going to eat some percentage, but a little dicey. Dash back forward tilt. Gonna be enough. Oh! They tried to get tricky with the recovery. Real tricky with it. So riding up the stage like that is gonna be their doom. The fear of the down air was too much. And Kozirath is gonna take game one in this fourth round.
Yeah, and once again, we find ourselves in that scenario where UCONN have to win this set if they want to have a chance in that fifth and final set, and that's a good game one for them to take. A little bit of an unfortunate play there from Derpalerpa, as you saw, but Kozirath showed he's got a lot in the tank here that he can work with. You know, he's able to get, you know, a lot of openings, like you saw. Things like the forward air spacing looked pretty on point in this match, and aside from, you know, dying to you know, just the counter and eating a little bit of percent from up Bs like that, it felt like this was very manageable for Kozirath.
Yeah, definitely did, especially towards the end right there where they're finding the side Bs, they're looking for the forward smash opportunities. I mean, there are a few characters who I legitimately like when people say like, oh, this character doesn't struggle to kill, just use their smash attacks. It's usually like, when are you going to hit a roll smash attack in neutral? Roy will. Especially off of tech chases. You see someone tech rolling towards ledge, it's game over for them. I mean, you're done. What else are you going to do? Die. Perish.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Something to note here as we get ready for game number 2 is that Kozirath's Shulk is very different than Bako's Shulk. Bako's Shulk is not afraid to kind of burn through all of the different arts Monado arts that this character has access to. Whereas Cozy Wrath, I feel like he's a little bit more passive, kind of notes what the scenario is like, what the situation is, and then opts for his art. You know, takes that extra second to decide which art to go to, and then activates it.
Yeah, and I did see Cozy Wrath going for what is along the lines of a more advanced technique. I don't actually know how difficult it is in this part of the game, just because there are so few Shulk players out there, but you saw them try to switch to shield art and hit stun a couple times, but they kept getting jumped just because that's the first one to come up. So that shows that they know how to pilot this character to maximum efficiency. I mean, we saw through the win, but just because you know how to do it doesn't mean when the execution test comes in tournament that you're gonna get it.
Yeah, we'll have to watch for that as we get ready for game number 2 here. Remember, any points here for Derpalurpa are massive, and if Cozy Wrath wins this game, he wins set number 4.
Trying to ledge trap with that there. Cozy Wrath. Just push Derpalurpa off stage. Jump bar comes online, but actually landed on stage and get caught by that neutral B. I was not expecting that one, but hey, floats your boat.
That forward tilt is something we haven't seen a lot from Derpalurpa. We didn't see it a whole ton in game number 1. Made good use of it there, but we'll have to watch for that as this game 2 continues.
Part makes you a little bit easier to juggle, but they elect for no art at all, and that's actually going to cost them. Derpalurpa goes right on in. Now Smash Art is online, and right move. I'm shocked that back air didn't kill, but still, that the Smash Art is going to be a little trickier. But yeah, they caught the jump right there off of ledge, and it was game over.
The sound effects for Roy, every hit Roy lands just sounds so much more damaging than it actually is, as Cozy Wrath at 48% and now in a little bit of danger, but he's able to get back to stage.
Get the forward smash onto the shield right there, but Cozy Wrath not going to give them much more than that. This was the Smash Art up tilt, but, well, you have to be a little more wily than that. Catch Derpalurpa, they're not just going to be floating around above you. As they go all the way deep, that's what you got to do to take down Derpalurpa.
Very good stuff from Cozy Wrath, though we see a lot of Shulks do that, and I actually like the stall out there on ledge. The switch to shield art going to buy him a little bit more time just in case, and he is able to make it back to stage. Right there. Show a vision of what's to come. Hopefully they like what he saw. As Cozy Wrath fighting right here. Tooth and nail to keep their team in this. And Derpalurpa going down, it looks possible, but going down to stock. Maybe getting a little more challenging. Backslash, not gonna connect. Playing around ledge right here, it is so tough to get out. Ooh, forward smash. And with the jump art, you know Derpalurpa wants to go low, but they can't quite do it. Ooh. Let's face these forward airs right here, right now. Not able to quite find the connection. Shield art? It's such a high percent. I mean, why wouldn't you? Derpalurpa goes all the way low, but once again, an up B turn the wrong way will be their demise.
I got through that pretty good.
It's going to be another one down.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Derpalurpa. 2 games kind of lost to that upbeat reversal, and you gotta feel bad because that was very, very tense. And you commented even on that shield art usage. I thought he burned it a little early. Felt like he was just kind of in neutral, and that's a huge kind of factor. We talk about survivability. That shield art makes Shulk, I believe, the heaviest character in the game, or at least up there. And the fact that he was burning that early, I thought that's a huge opening for Derpalurpa. But alas, falling to the reversal of the upbeat gives UConn a chance here in in set number 5.
Yet, all you need is one more point than the minimum right now. And UConn, they're hungry for it. An upset this massive, it would be crucial. Quinnipiac University, though, I mean, they got a whole big bag of tricks right up their sleeve. If Samsam exists and is not CISO, we will see them now. I mean, they got to win over a University of Mississippi State player. If you're going to bet it all on anyone, you would bet it all on Samsam 2001.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see who Quinnipiac sends in, because Quinnipiac, like we said, they've added a lot of depth to their roster. They've added a lot of new players that we're seeing more and more of as this season is starting to go on. But in a set this close, they might opt for one of their more experienced players, like a Soul Cake, who we haven't seen yet, or maybe Grit, who is brand new to the roster as of this year, who has seen a lot of starting time. It's that interesting dynamic when you have many players at that similar skill level. Do you put in the one with less experience on this stage or more?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be Grit coming in here up against CC Floss, coming in from University of Connecticut. CC Floss is another player we saw last week, but if I remember correctly, it didn't go so hot against Mississippi State. They were not looking to mess around. I'll say that.
Yeah, CC Floss opted for Sora against Mississippi State, which, as you said, they did lose the set. I believe they gave up 6 points in that matchup. So it could have been worse, could have been better. This is a pivotal point for them, though, because CC Floss has been, now this will be his second week in that kind of anchor role for UConn. So it's a lot of pressure on him. And for Grit, I mean, Grit is a new player for Quinnipiac who's been going Bowser Jr. Most notably. And that's a character that I feel like is very kind of pendulum-esque. They either run away with a matchup or they get ran over.
Yeah, I mean, Bowser Jr., he has some setups. He has some options, and they are good, but they are limited. Those are the options that he has. If your character can beat them out, he doesn't have a lot of stuff. If you can't, then he still isn't amazing just because you know what his 3 main options in neutral are. And Bowser Jr. players are finding new stuff every day. I mean, one thing to do for ledge trapping is when you hit someone with back air across the stage, you immediately fire a cannonball at the precise spacing so that it falls down right beneath the ledge, and then also you throw your Mecha Koopa, and then you drop the clown car. Bowser Jr. does have some crazy stuff, but executing it, on the other hand, I mean, I've only ever seen one Bowser Jr. player do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Certainly kind of a testing ground here for a player like Grit. And, he's been playing hot recently, 4-0, but he's never been put, I think, in quite a pressure cooker scenario like this. He's typically early on in the lineup. Now, only a 4-point lead to work with and no room for error, really, or at least minimal room for error. Can he find the win against CC Floss, or will he be able to bring it back?
CC Floss, well aware of the advantage that they're going to have to play from as Grit. I mean, that's already some nice movement I see coming out right there. And playing as I often say, playing ping pong with yourself. Is this a button check? This might be a button check. Yeah, that warm up that we saw, Z dropping those Mecha Koopas, that was 100% a button check right there. As we are now going to take you back to our lovely faces for a moment and get into the real game in a moment.
Yeah, so Sora versus Bowser Jr. looks to be the matchup, and it looked like Smashville might have been the stage as well, and I'm curious to see how that one plays out because, like we said, I think Bowser Jr., I think he can dictate the pace of the matchup, which is something not a lot of Quinnipiac players are used to, but against Sora, I'm not sure it's going to be as easy.
I don't think so either, so, I mean, floaties in general, very hard to combo, which is, I mean, Bowser Jr.'s bread and butter. He's possible to ledge trap, but he has so many options off a ledge, especially with, like, Thundaga off ledge, side B off ledge, immediate up B, the fact that he just has a really good recovery. It's going to be hard for Bowser Jr. to get really most of the mileage he's used to. I think your only condolence is if you're a master of Bowser Jr. and they're still learning Sora, then you have a very serious shot, even if it's hard to get your true stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The other note, the way you've described it kind of makes me think back to the matchup we saw earlier of CISO, where CISO, it was, if he gets the one opening he needs, or the few openings he needs to get that percentage on, then he can find a way to get a kill. And that might be, I think, the case here for Grit. If they get that one or two openings, if they look clean while doing so, then this is very doable for Grit. But if not, then CC Floss could really run away with this match.
Side B helps even out the percents right there. Caught by one hit of it, you know you're going to get juggled around. Up there. Good enough. But hit by your own Mecha Koopa is going to put you in a little bit of a disadvantage. Right though, able to hold on, jab at ledge. I don't think that's going to kill that early. Sora is light. Oh man.
Yeah, that's huge. Because that puts CC Floss at a disadvantage, and now he's got to find a way back to stage and still find a way to kill this Bowser Jr., who's surviving at 120 right now.
Yeah, able to hold on for the time being. Up throw into up airs. That's the most they'll get for the time being, but catching out the up B. Yeah, Oh, I think they went out to try and bait them into side being the wrong way. The CC Floss, they were well aware of the limitations of their character, able to get back to ledge.
Yeah, that was a huge turnaround, and Grit looks very good on this Bowser Jr. right now, but CC Floss, he will fall to the cart, and now CC Floss a lot of work to be done.
Yes. Landing down air right there, gets a nice hitbox out onto CC Floss. Rapid jab as well, keeps him in disadvantage. You've got to be mindful of every single angle Bowser Jr. is throwing out options from. And like I said, they're not getting their huge combos that Bowser Jr. is a little bit known for. But that's okay. You're still able to win it out in neutral. Well, 6 times out of 10, which isn't a ton, but it's enough to maintain your lead.
This cart, again, doing so much work. Grit at 67 certainly isn't out of range at all for CC Floss, but he's got to play so carefully because Grit right now has done a great job of controlling the pace of this matchup. That forward throw nearly killing. This could be dangerous, able to get away.
And just going right on over that right there. No need to deal with that sort of thing. Is that going to catch him? Fine for now, though. Avoid that exploding Mecha on ledge. Still a solid stock lead for Grit. All they need is one missed opportunity from CC Floss. That counter was almost it. It's fishing for the kill. That back air, the forward smash will be enough.
solid showing there from Grit here in game number 1, getting that 2 stock. And again, it just felt like CC Floss was kind of searching for answers rather than coming up with solutions.
Yeah, I mean, there were some opportunities occasionally, but in the end, it was just again after again after again. They would just try to go for something, maybe be falling nair, maybe it'd be a down air, and then there'd be a dash back, and then the opening would come. And they wouldn't get a ton of value. They wouldn't get up airs in a row. They'd get up airs, they'd get up airs, they'd get a pick into a back down. 30% off of every interaction. It builds up. It's not the same 0 to deaths as some characters have, but it builds up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so as we get ready for game number 2 here, I think what I'm looking for, I'm curious if they go to a stage with a little bit more space to work with, at least for CC Floss, because we didn't really see him make use of the spells all that often between, the thunder, the fire. We didn't really see him utilize those spells at all. And Grit gave him opportunities to do so because, like you said, Bowser Jr. has some setup, right? He has to, release the Mecha Koopa, the cannonball. But it felt like, surprisingly, Grit really didn't give him the time to do so.
Yeah, not at all. As getting into the match now. Oh. Okay. I mean, sometimes you just gotta bet it all. This is not an unviable option if you're not sure you can beat them in a head-to-head battle.
Yeah, and Hero's got plenty of kill power as well, so the ability to take stocks off the board is certainly not out of the question, but look at Grit's combo game and how clean it is taking the early stock. Oh boy.
That won one of the strongest aerials in the game for some reason. And, CC Floss and the receiving end of it. And having a clean stock over Hero, meaning he can't go for trades, is crucial. 3 stocks to 1. Oh no, CC Floss. Grit. They're able to combo now. I can see why this new player is the anchor. Oh my word. Grit going in. They're drilling, and they find gold and they keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. The control of this character right now, and you can tell, just based off Grit's movement, that they're playing with confidence.
Yeah, not going to be caught by that snooze in the slightest. And obviously, they're having a little trouble with the disjoints, but now that you've got them on ledge... Oh, catches the back air. Doesn't have the snooze. And they're able to catch the jump with the forward air. CC Floss gets a stock on the board, but all you need... They were waiting for it. They were sitting in shield waiting for them to run the other way to go into that, and they're going all the way deep for the finisher with the back air. Quinnipiac University maintains their undefeated streak. University of Connecticut put up an admirably strong fight, to say the least. 20-10. That is a very good scoreline considering what we just saw from Quinnipiac. University of Connecticut went toe-to-toe the entire time, but ultimately couldn't stand up to the test. They're going to be going down, continuing their defeated streak, but I've got high hopes for them. That definitely looked a lot cleaner than last week.
Yeah, no, the weeks that we've seen them, I talked about it with Niagara, but the building blocks are there. They've got players that certainly have a mastery of their character, but just a little bit of misexecution in game plan and in stage control at times has really come back to bite them. So I'm with you. I think this is a roster that I think could really make waves later on in the season, but these have been some tough early opening matchups for them.
Yeah, and, well, Quinnipiac University, they have had a lot going for them, and, well, they're not looking to stop anytime soon. And we can ask them how it feels to have a target being slowly brushstroke by brushstroke painted on their back. in a quick interview in a little bit with Mr. Purple, I believe, from Quinnipiac University, the Nest player from the start. So in a couple of minutes, we'll be back with that interview, so don't go anywhere. You know you're going to want to see this. Hey, everybody. It's Keel, Miles, and Soy back with all of Quinnipiac, as you can see here. Poised, looking fantastic right now after that win. How you doing?
You know, we're doing great. We can now hold the title as the best Smash team in the EGF in Connecticut, so we'll take that 100%.
All right. And now, I gotta ask, like, you had mentioned briefly off stream, you like to keep all your games close, but Connecticut did give you a run for your money at a couple points. So, like, how did you feel about going into this matchup? Like, seeing an 0-4 team, like, no offense to Connecticut, were you like, nah, we don't have to prepare? Did you take them just as seriously?
If we didn't take them seriously, we would have not put in the players that we put in tonight. We put in one of our best rosters that we could put out there tonight. Our captain did a great job picking a lineup. He knew that no matter what, we should go out there and put in our best lineup, and we did that 100% tonight.
Yeah, you did. And oh my word, between your 6 stock opening it up to like some of the really close sets going on, specifically Bako's. Nice job, Bako. But yeah, that was really a good show.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we definitely played a lot of close sets tonight. I mean, Billy Shilly's going to get better every single week. He's been out for the last 3 weeks. He's had other commitments, but I'm telling you, what you saw in Billy Shilly tonight, that is not what you're going to see a lot of this season. You're going to see a lot of win columns, big time wins for Billy Shilly throughout this season.
All right.
Yeah. So you guys, last season were right in grand finals of the MAC conference, and you guys were one of the top teams in the EGF. Are you feeling the pressure of the expectation to get back there yet?
No, we're no pressure. We're week to week here. We've got a couple great matchups coming up. We're excited to play Seton Hall, which is an out-of-conference rivalry. We have DePaul and South Alabama to finish off this half of the season, and we're excited to play some out-of-conference matches. We're getting to play some different teams that aren't MAC. Those are usually pretty close matches because it's hard to gauge where we're at when we play a lot of MAC teams because the MAC's very top-heavy with Siena, Marist, and us. But I'm excited to get to see what some of the out-of-conference teams have in store for us and what we might see in the EGF playoffs.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. And honestly, the fact that you all get to compete with all these players around the nation, I mean, can be a little difficult with the online connection, but hey, it's a really good opportunity. So, like, which regions in particular do you have your eyes on as, like you said, MAC is top-heavy, blah, 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 MAC best region, all that, but, like, do you have any regions in particular you're like, okay, we got to watch out for them?
I mean, I don't think there's anyone we're screaming we've got to watch out for. I really think that our team is just very focused and very posed and ready to play against any team. I mean, the DePaul matchup in a couple of weeks, that's probably going to be 2 undefeated teams going into that matchup. So that will be an absolute thrill. We're very excited to play DePaul. We didn't get to play them last season. And then Siena and Marist, they're always fun games. And we would love to play Mississippi State at some point in the playoffs again and try to run that back after we lost them in the EGF playoffs last season. They are a team that we 100% think that we can beat, and we would love to get another chance at that.
Yeah, and listen, with this confidence you're bringing to the table in the interview, I have faith.
We're nothing but confidence around here. I promise you that. We built this team on confidence. We're all confident in each other 100% of the way. We ride on each other's backs the whole way to the end.
And a team built on confidence is very scary. And I was going to say, a lot of this season, especially in the early parts, have been a lot of new faces appearing in the roster. Players like Grit have shown up big. We saw Dingo at times as well. So I'm kind of curious, how do you feel about the performance of the depth of your roster?
Something that we didn't do a lot last season was bring out our depth. I was just talking about with some of the players earlier that through 3 weeks of the season, we had already played as many players as we played all of last season. So we're bringing in a lot of new faces. We're giving a lot of players a shot because, a few of us are starting to head toward graduation. There's going to be a few of us leaving the program soon, and we want to make sure we leave behind a strong enough program that won't only get us to the end this year, but will get us to the end every single season and keep that up.
Hey, heck yeah, man. And to do that, you need some really strong players. And I've noticed in big rosters like this, there are always some like hidden bosses, and everyone's got different opinions on who's the best. So can everyone in there hear me? Just checking.
Yes,
all right,
I can all hear you.
Hey, how about everyone just point to who you think the best player in the room is right now on camera? See, that's what I like to see. Everyone's got different opinions. Perfect.
Wait, I'm seeing multiple hands here. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Hey, we're such a decent depth pool roster. I mean, there's a lot of players here who can compete for that top spot 100% of the way.
Hey, that's the confidence you need. And listen, I'm glad y'all are enjoying being actually in person, playing with each other. We love doing these team interviews, and I thank you all for showing up for this and giving us all a good show. All right. And with that, we're going to wrap up this game. So once again, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we're going to wrap up for now. Go for a quick break. When we return, we've got the last match of the night. Iona College taking on the University of Hawaii. So take a break. We'll be back at 9:30 with more Smash action.
Thank you, guys.